Looks. You know where that comes from? That comes from men. I agree with you.
Yes.
You know why? In that case, you are following the men. Because the state, in terms of the makeup, in terms of even the clothes, in terms of how you carry yourself around, that comes from the fashion industry, which is actually led by men. You know the high heels the women are really uncomfortable in? Again, coming from where? It was designed by men in order for your figure to look good to them. Maybe some women as well.
Exactly.
So that's, you know, when you say following men, you're doing that over there already. So this idea about feminism, where they say the men are the problem, the same feminists will follow those fashion industries. The moguls of those fashion industries are men. The Gucci's, the Armani's, all these guys, yeah?
Yeah, and I'm here for vacation, so I
Are
like
you?
to take
All right. Where from?
Austria.
Austria. Oh, nice. You guys got that. I've been to Austria. They have this really big church in the middle of the square.
Vienna.
Vienna, that's the one, yeah. In Austria, yeah. It was a long time ago, so I barely remember anything. Yeah. So, have you heard of Speaker's Corner? This place?
Sorry?
Sorry, it's too loud. Is it okay if we go there and speak? Just over here, not far.
We can't really stay for long.
That's fine. That's fine. So, have you heard of this place? This is called Speaker's Corner. It's like where you have to speak about any topic you want. It's promoting freedom of speech. Yeah, so any topic. So I'm a Muslim. We speak about religion. We speak to atheists, agnostic, also other religions. So in terms of religion, where do you guys stand?
I'm a Christian,
Okay.
but I don't believe in everything that's written in the Bible, and I respect every other religion.
So why do you not believe certain things in the Bible?
Because I think it's so old and people, it's the very long time ago.
Do you think there is something which is not truth in there? The untruth?
I don't think that everything's right, like
Or it's not in line with today's standards. Is that what you're saying?
yeah, and also I mean like that men are more worth.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Stuff.
I hope you're not a feminist. You are? Okay. What about you? Are you a Christian?
I am a Christian, but I have a very similar opinion. I also don't think that women are below men in any
So,
way.
what do you see in the Bible that you think is misogynist?
I think, well, the Bible generally says that men are higher in the families, that they are.
Yeah, in authority. Yeah, I think this is in 1 Corinthians 11:3, where it says, "The head of the woman is man."
Yeah,
Is that the one? Is that the one you're referring to?
Exactly.
Okay. Who do you think should be the head in the family?
I think it should be equal. I think
Yeah.
it should be a woman and a man should be both in the same place. Actually, I think if there should be someone on top, it even could be the woman because they birth the children.
Second.
The women birth the children, so I feel like they're actually stronger. They should have more to say in the family. So about
You know, if you look at history, whether you look at the generals or the kings or whatever it is, even before Christianity, it was always the men who were actually the leaders. So in terms of leadership, look at any history in the world. Without an exception, it used to be men. But that doesn't mean that women are inferior in any way. Like even in Islam, the head of the family is a man. But that doesn't mean the woman is inferior. It's just that because in terms of leadership, yeah, they can actually, if you, like I said, if you look from both their physiology and also from the psychology of the women and men are different, isn't it? The women are more, I think, in terms of mercy, in terms of compassion, in terms of showing gratitude to someone, all of this, I think the women excel compared to the men.
and wouldn't
Yeah.
that maybe make women even better to lead?
You know, this is what, you know, as a Muslim, we do not actually put men and women against each other. We actually believe they complement each other. We shouldn't. The world, especially in feminism, where they teach that one should be against the other, that's wrong. They complement. There are certain things that women are good to. You mentioned about the birth and all. Yeah, absolutely. I don't think a man can even imagine the pain and all that sacrifices that women give during childbirth, that they could even imagine to fulfill that.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm saying we shouldn't, in a way, put one against the other, because that's
No,
unproductive.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying women should be above men either.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that a lot of things that are misogynistic in the world today, a lot of it came from the Bible, I think. A lot of people excuse it with the Bible.
Yeah.
And that's why I just think that it is wrong and that people shouldn't listen to everything the Bible says.
Yeah.
Also about homosexuality.
But you see, again, like I said, when you start saying, look, even though I'm not over here, I'll defend the Bible in certain things, not in all things, right? When I said defend the Bible, I meant that there are certain things which are common in the Bible and the Quran. I'm not going to lie to you just to be nice to you and try to say, yes, Bible is bad, the Quran is good. Because there are many things which are similar in the Quran and the Bible. And this doesn't originate what you see as being unequal. It doesn't originate from something where you pit men against the women and calling one superior the other. I'll give you an ayah in the Quran where Allah, one of the last khutbah or the last sermon of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. He says that an Arab is not superior to a non-Arab, and a non-Arab is not superior to an Arab. And the white man, when he said man, the whites are not superior to the black, and the black are not superior to the white. And he goes on to say that the one in the sight of Allah who actually is superior is the one who has taqwa, who has God consciousness, and the one who actually is God fearing. It is not whether you're a man or a woman, black or white, or Arab, non-Arab, something like that, nothing like that. So this is what we call equity. Equity is where you don't say one is superior to the other. They have their own position, their own roles, and that is what we call as complementary roles and complementary roles within a society. Yeah. So it's very important that we actually look into this in the way that it's meant to be. But when you start looking from a feminist lens, then you will have this pitting men against women. We never had that.
Well, I think as a feminist, you don't hate on men. You only want women are equal to men. And for example, men hated women for many years in the past, and we just want that they're equal when it comes to salary or other stuff.
Well, the salary thing is still on. Even with feminism being around for 70 years, that's still around.
Exactly.
The other thing which you don't see equality in is in the STEM, which is basically in science, technology, engineering, mathematics.
Also politics.
Yeah, so in this fields, why do you think even after 70 years of feminism, the women are not contributing?
I think men are very egoistic and they always want
Say again?
to be I think men are very egoistic and they always want to be on the top.
No. The STEM, today we have, like in the West especially, you can join any university you want, yeah? You can go and join any course you want. Nobody's going to stop you because you're a woman or a man. But what we see is representation of women, even after 70 years of feminism, is very low in the STEM. Why is that? You have no one to restrict you. But that is what I was telling you earlier, that when you look at men and women, they are different, both in physiology and even in psychology.
Yes, definitely. I know that. But
Yeah.
I think that women also have a lot of things that men don't have that would actually be great if they were further on the top.
Sorry, I didn't hear that at all.
I think that women have so many great qualities that men don't have.
They have so many qualities?
So many great qualities that
Who?
men don't have.
The women have great qualities?
Yes, that
Yeah.
men don't have. And that might be the reason why they would be better on top.
So why are they underrepresented in STEM? If they have great qualities. By the way, this is by their own will, yeah? It's not like anybody forced them out.
I could bat an opinion, bat a theory.
I will let them have it. They are guests here. They're going to go in a few minutes. So let's see what they say. Because they're women. You're not.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't do what they call it, mansplaining. Yeah. Don't mansplain to them.
I think that actually, from earlier times religion is kind of, I'm not going to say the Bible especially, but just generally the church from earlier times, also what they did with the witches, for example, if we go way back, I feel like it's still...
You can't blame the Bible for that.
Yeah, I'm not saying the Bible, I'm saying the church. I'm saying
Even the church, you can't blame the church. Because today the church and state are separate, yeah?
I'm not saying today the church, I'm saying the church.
No, I'm talking about today, by the way. My question to you wasn't about back then. Yes, back then the women...
Maybe she's saying the effects linger.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Okay,
I think it affects...
so let's look at it logically. Sorry, what's the field you're in?
Sorry?
What are you studying?
I'm in school, I'm in high school.
You're in high school. What is it you plan to study?
Maybe something cinema or also...
Okay, arts, yeah? Arts. What about you, madam? What are you planning to study?
I want to study medicine.
Medicine. Okay, very good. So you see, none of them said STEM from the two samples. And I can bring another 100 women here. And I would say majority of them...
Medicine is science.
Yeah, no, science...
Technology, engineering and maths.
Yeah, I know, but that's different, you know. Again, medicine itself is more... Both men and women take part. And if you look at any field of medicine, you will see almost equal representation. I'm talking about the science, the natural science, for example, physics, to be more specific. You'll see very less representation by women in there. Even when the church doesn't stop the women today.
But she gave an answer. To
Bro, can I finish, please?
No.
I don't want you mansplaining. They can do it themselves. So the example you gave, for example, today, if somebody doesn't stop you, if someone doesn't stop you, then
Gives a fuck.
the only person who's making this choice is yourself. Like, for example, if I ask a woman, what is it that stopped you? And you're going to say something from the Bible or the church. I doubt that thought even comes to you when you're choosing your field. Am I right?
Yes, I'm choosing my field, but I mean, it's not about even choosing my field. It's just about generally that I sometimes feel like I am under men, not just in work fields, but in general, in my daily life, just disrespected.
Is anyone preventing you to do anything that you want in terms of the studies? Like, for example, when you're at high school, did any teacher discourage you from going into any of these fields?
In terms of studies, no.
Exactly.
In terms of studies, no, but in terms of politics, I think it plays a very big role.
So even politics, like I know many women who are into politics.
They are into politics, but they
Our
never
Home
get
Secretary is a woman.
positions.
You know, here in London, sorry, in the UK, our Home Secretary is a woman.
So you don't think there's any oppression caused to women? Go on the offensive.
So you don't think there's any oppression?
At your school, show me the oppression. You know, when it came to choosing your field.
In the 1950s, women were not able to open bank accounts.
We are not about the 50s, we are talking about today.
Yes, I know, but she
2026.
made the case that the church made
My question is about today, not about 50 years ago or 60 years ago. My question is about today. You want him mansplaining for you guys, seriously? My question was about today, remember? Not about 1950s, which he's talking about.
Yeah, but it's still...
Okay, give me an example from your lives where anybody prevented you or discouraged you from going into STEM at all. Give me an example.
I'm not exactly talking about studies. I'm also talking about the fact that I get disrespected by people my age as well because I'm a woman. They have higher expectations from me. I get disrespected for looks. I get disrespected for weight just because I'm a woman for things that boys wouldn't get disrespected for.
Sorry, suspected of what?
Of looks,
Of what?
Looks.
Looks. You know where that comes from? That comes from men, I agree with you.
Yes.
You know why? In that case, you are following the men. Because the state, in terms of the makeup, in terms of even the clothes, in terms of how you carry yourself around, that comes from the fashion industry, which is actually led by men. You know the high heels the women are really uncomfortable in? Again, coming from where? It was designed by men in order for your figure to look good to them. Maybe some women as well.
Exactly.
So that's, you know, when you say following men, you're doing that over there already. So this idea about feminism, where they say the men are the problem, the same feminists will follow those fashion industries. The moguls of those fashion industries are men. The Gucci's, the Armani's, all these guys, yeah? They have family businesses in order to make sure that the women remain under their fashion symbols and their fashion empires. That is where you're following. So yes, don't blame the church or the mosque or the Quran or the Bible. This thing is something that they brought upon themselves. Do you agree? Whom are you looking good for? Other people mainly, even if you're uncomfortable. By the way, I'm not being personal to you. I'm saying about generally when women, go into and buy fashion stuff like these Jimmy shoes. How much do they cost? Nearly 1,000 or 5,000. I mean, the bags cost like 30,000. When I heard about these Gucci bags, what the hell?
I think I'm so sorry, but I think we really have to go.
Yeah, no problem. But anyway, I was just telling you, like, look into this objectively, and hopefully you will stop blaming religion for it, because many people use this as escape route for them. There's many more factors which impact this. But thank you for your time, guys. All the best. May Allah give them hidayah. Jazakallah khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.